On to restart. Oh, there we go.
Yay! I've had to do that where I try to join on you and it won't let me, but if Frosty you're allowed to it, I can.
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
Hi!
He just doesn't like my invites. It's okay. No, I'm just joking. Hi. How's it going?
Good. Good. How are you?
Good, good.
Busy
I'm
day?
tired. Uh, no. I actually only had to work 8 hours today, so the last 2 days have been 13 plus hours, so nice little break.
Oh man, it's been busy for me.
Yeah.
Two
It's
two
just
crew
like,
members down for COVID.
oh no. So
Not a
what
good
is it
time.
like? So they don't pay you overtime in New Zealand, right? They just pay you regular pay, or is it like your wages are already set and they'll work you how many whatever hours they need, or how does that work?
Yeah, so there's no real overtime here. Like if you go over your hours, it's pretty standard. But unless it's explained in your contract, then the if the company does that for their staff members, yeah, they could pay overtime. Or the way
Uh,
Tiffy's got it at her job is that if she works over 12 hours, then she gets an extra on top of that. Um,
got like 12 hours in a day, or
yeah,
just
over 12 hours in a day, yeah.
gotcha. Interesting. So it's not like you're just salaried, like you get only the same amount of pay every week. It's just based off of how many hours you work.
Yeah, well, we do have
Or
salaries here. Don't get me wrong. Like at work we have salary, but me personally, I get paid by the hour.
by the hour. Gotcha.
So what is the difference between salary and hourly?
Well, salary, you're guaranteed that amount, whether how many hours you work.
Mm.
But the
So they don't have to.
downside, the
Yeah.
downside to a salary package deal is that if you work like 60 hours, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna get the set amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What
basically the
about?
same thing for here.
Yeah. I would say that's the same here. But what if, like, if you are normally like a full-time person that gets 40 hours a week, but yet it slows down, basically you just go without pay then?
Yeah, correct.
So you don't have any like
Unemployment or anything?
No,
or laws.
no.
So like here in the United States, there's laws that you have like if your job title is like full time, they have to keep you at full time unless like you had your own personal issue or something come up, arise, or vacation or whatever. They have to keep you at your
Oh
hours.
yeah, yeah. In
If you
that retrospect, yeah, yeah. The companies here can't force you to go home if you haven't done your hours. Like
okay.
say we don't need you today, you have to go home. No, if you're contracted to do 40 hours a week, then you can do those 40 hours regardless of what anyone says. If you've got nothing to do, you can stay there and pretty much stand around. I can't do that myself. I just I'll rather go home. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's completely up to you. Um,
Okay.
if you want to
I mean,
go
that
home.
sounds about the same. I think the only thing different is we don't necessarily sign a contract here
Yeah.
versus like which it
Because
sounds.
there are a couple states that do contract employment like what you're talking about, but the majority of the states here are at will employment. And so you have a job until one of you says you don't, and then you don't. it's a little bit more fickle.
Oh, right. No,
They have much
yeah,
to depend on.
So
yeah.
if you sign like a contractor, does that mean like you're contracted in that many years, or
No, no. There is places that do that. Like,
okay,
that's not a like they hire you for 6 months, and then after that 6 months they can do a staff review whether they want to keep you, but they're not obligated to keep you if you're signed the 6 months
gotcha.
contract. But on the regular, like generally, you sign a contract, you're there until you either get
Leave.
fired or you leave or you resign.
Gotcha.
Um,
So it's almost like temp like it sounds like they have temp workers too, and then which would be that yeah. Okay.
it's very hard to
Sorry, were you
fire
gonna say?
someone here, but
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like another aspect of leaving a job is that they'll issue a redundant. Your position is made redundant, so
Uh-huh.
you'll.
Yeah,
But even saying that, like companies don't want to really go down the redundancy route because you're getting paid. You got to pay the staff member. You got to pay that staff member out if your position still exists. So they could say, "Oh, you'll be
Uh,
made redundant,"
it's like layoffs here.
huh.
but your position, like you could, like the person that really is getting redundant has to have a little bit of knowledge about redundancy, because they could turn around and say, "Well, does my position still exist?" And then the owner or the employer will say, "Oh, it still exists." And then you go, "Well, I want to get paid out." Then legally they have to
Wow.
pay you out.
But they could just say it doesn't exist and then just create a new job that basically does the same thing, though, I'm sure.
Uh, I think there's like it's quite hard to do that. To say that your position doesn't exist if if it's a big company and there's people
Yeah.
that that are still working there, like, okay, so
Yeah.
there's still butchers here.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
But
All
like
right,
Graham
let's
was saying
go.
before, yeah, it's very
Oh,
hard to get rid of someone. Very hard to get
yeah,
rid of someone.
that's interesting. That's different than here.
Yeah, it's so different from here.
What
Here,
is
if I
the
was your boss, I can fire you for literally any reason that's not illegal. Like, I can't fire you because you're not a girl, or because you're too old or too young, or because you're black or white. There's several protected things you can't fire people for. But except for those, I could fire you for literally anything. Like, I didn't like the color of your shoes. I could fire you for that. It's
Wow?
crazy.
Could they turn around and sue the
Yeah.
company? Because you guys in
They can
America
file
they
for
sue.
unemployment.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
another
you
thing.
can't
Yeah, they're
sue for
too
wrongful
happy.
termination, but that usually has to include some form of like fraud
Right up.
or lies
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. Like, I can't fire you for theft if I know that you didn't steal and then claim it was for theft. You could sue me for wrongful termination because it wasn't a real reason.
Oh, right.
But I could fire
There's
you for wearing
another
red
thing
shoes.
New Zealand we don't have that you guys do
What's up?
is suing. We don't sue here. Well, we can't sue here.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
I'd rather that, to be honest. I feel like
So
this country has gotten into
in
such a
that
sue happy.
retrospect, how do you solve civil orders? Like, for example,
Well,
if somebody was driving a car and they ran into your fence and you wanted them to pay for your fence, how does
well,
that work if they like refuse?
yeah, it goes through a small claims court, so it'll go
Same thing.
through
But
yeah,
that's still
small
suing them,
claims.
in essence.
Small
Well,
claims. Is
suing
that not the
is
same as suing?
well,
Uh,
I just The way I think about
Doesn't
it,
have a different
like,
meaning there.
suing is having well, I can't even explain it. I'm not totally sure, to be honest, but I know
Okay.
Well,
there's a
like
difference there. Like we
here,
can,
suing is basically I take you to court for something. It could be anything from like slander and libel to, property damage, all sorts of things. Like there's a real wide berth that kind of covers everything. That isn't criminal cases, or at least that's how the word works in my head.
So you
Yeah.
probably are
I
talking
don't know what
like
the
how
difference
Johnny
is.
Depp sued Amber. You can't do that for defamation of character or something like that.
No, no, no. I don't think you can. Not in New Zealand anyway. Like
I bet you
if
just. What? Sorry.
if you look at it, like I don't think I've ever heard anyone sue here. Here, I haven't done any research about it, but I don't think you can sue anyone here. Like you can take them to small claims court, but that's about it.
I wonder if it's available there, just people don't use it because, they're generally better people than Americans. And not as entitled, and maybe, like
Yeah.
Americans are very entitled mindset. Oh, okay. People injured in New Zealand generally can't sue each other for causing injury.
Causing injury. So there's probably specific things you can and can't sue for then.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because suing for injury is a real big thing here. If somebody rear ends
Yeah.
me, I can hold my neck real hard like I've got whiplash and take them to court over it. Like that's a thing that people do for some reason, even though most of it's BS.
Oh, so like if I got into a car crash
Yes.
and my neck hurts, I'm gonna sue the person that I hit.
Yep.
Yeah. Or
Oh my.
or if I invite you
You
to my
will-
house and you have too many beers and you fall and break your arm going down the stairs, you could sue me for that because I would be liable.
Well, but the
Here.
thing is, it falls back on your insurance. So, like, my car insurance would, I have so much protection, and they would pay for it. So, like, we are going through this process with our daughter actually, because she was in a four-wheeler accident 3 ago. Yeah, it was in 2019, and she had to have a skin graft because it the back of her upper thigh had third-degree burns on it.
Oh no.
So at that time, yeah, it was really bad. She didn't have insurance, or we didn't have insurance at that time. So it was at a family's house, and so we're like, okay, well, we didn't even think about um suing. I hate to say that we're suing them, but the insurance is covering is more along the lines. Technically, we will have to sue them, the insurance company. We still haven't done it yet, which they called me again, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
But basically, her medical bills, because we didn't have insurance, was like $30,000 for her, because she went to a children's hospital, Mercy's Children's Hospital, and they had to do the whole 9 yards, skin graft and um, physical therapy. Yeah, physical therapy, and it was a lot. So,
Wow.
but the insurance will pay for all of her medical bills, and then she'll get a small settlement too.
You know, so if if I ever if you guys ever got into an accident and you had no insurance, does the hospital still treat you?
Yes, they
So-
have to.
Yeah, there are laws in emergency medicine where they have to treat you regardless of your ability to pay.
Yeah, they
Now,
don't. Yeah.
for non-emergent stuff, like if you needed, uh,
See if you had the
lab
flu.
results or something, like, or see
Yeah.
if you had the flu. You know, that's not an emergency medicine visit, and so they can make you go through insurance stuff before they treat you.
Oh, okay. So life-threatening, yes, they gotta see you.
Yep.
Right.
But a lot of people still don't go because it's so or not for life threatening, but regular. They don't go because it's really expensive. You
I
know, to
know
go to
plenty
a
of people that
doctor.
don't go
Like,
for life threatening either.
oh, that's true. But
Like,
basically, so
oh,
like, I go to the doctor for a cold. Some insurances, like last year's insurance, I would have had to pay for the whole doctor's visit out of pocket because our insurance has deductibles, and usually the ones that you can afford are high deductibles, and so you have to pay out so much before insurance will even kick in. Though you're paying monthly for insurance.
well,
So
that's
it's
rough.
just
Like, over
yeah.
here,
Real rough.
if I had the flu, I could quite easily go to my local doctor and get a prescription for whatever I needed for the flu, and only pay $11.
My God, that'd be wonderful. You're
It's
looking at
like
easily,
minimum $100 just to go to the doctor's office
yeah.
and get a prescription.
Well, it just depends on your insurance. So, like, my insurance would be $50 to see the doctor, and then the prescription, however expensive the prescription was. And that's dependent on what they prescribe to you, too.
Wow, that's
But,
way different from here, man. Like I remember a
yeah.
couple of years ago, I was putting up a clock, and when I went to step off the stand that I was standing on, I stood right on the edge of a heater, which was quite sharp of the angle that I hit it at, and it sliced my
Oh.
foot open. And I went to the doctor, spent $22 to get it stitched.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And we
Take
don't
that
have,
over what
like,
we've got every day of the week.
yeah, that they wouldn't treat you in the doctor's office for stitches either. They tell you to go to the ER. They
And
wouldn't
the
treat you
ER
here.
would charge you $800 to
The
$2,000 depending
thousand,
on where
yeah.
you're at.
Oh my
Yeah, for that
goodness!
one
Well,
visit to get
yeah.
stitches.
Well,
Like,
that
it's disgusting.
that retrospect, you're gonna enjoy New Zealand. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's why we don't really go to doctors. I mean,
Another
Like,
thing
generally
with
speaking.
with
we
the
both used to work in healthcare, and part of that drove me way out of it.
Yeah.
uh,
Three
another thing
things.
with New Zealand is, I mean, with the healthcare system here, it's a lot cheaper if you got a community service card. So I'm not totally sure how it would work with immigrants, but if you can get this community service card, man, it's way cheaper. Like kids are $7 or something like that. I think
Wow.
kids under 10 are free. Oh yes, they are. They're free.
That's crazy. That's going to be the biggest change, I think, is just like seeing how, like going to well, so like you've got the people that don't go because they know it's expensive, and then you have the people that are on health insurance, like state paid health insurance, which is usually really low income, and they'll take their kids for the common flu or the cold and take them to the ER emergency because they're not paying for a $2,000 visit, they're not paying for anything. But money has to come from somewhere. I don't know. It's a mess. Like, the healthcare here needs to be reformed so bad. I mean, most of the stuff here needs to be reformed. Part of the reason why we want to leave. Well, a good portion of why we want to leave.
Man,
But,
oh man, I believe it. You know, like if you have like a really bad headache, oh man, I'm just gonna live through the headache.
Yeah. Take enough
take-
Benadryl to knock you out, and then hope
Yep.
that it's not there when you wake back up.
yep.
And,
Or,
and they
you know,
wonder why we're
sometimes-
so drug heavy here because we have to self-medicate so much.
Yeah, because we have, well, or we use Google to find out everything because it's so expensive. It's just basic health. And the other problem here is that doctors don't treat the cause of what's causing you to get sick. They'll treat the symptom only. So like say they don't do the research and try and find what's actually causing you to
Oh
get
yeah,
sick.
agreed. Yeah,
They'll just say, "Oh, here's your symptoms. Here's this for those symptoms."
yeah.
Because a sick patient is a paying
Oh
patient.
man, yeah, that's way different from here, man. The doctors here, they will try to find out what's causing the headache, what's causing the ache and pain. You know, you got
Yeah. No,
you go
here
Awesome.
to the
they'd rather
doctor.
give you a painkiller and send you on
Yeah,
your way. Awful.
like they
Or
got
get
some
you addicted to opioids.
sometimes they ask like, you know, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but you know, they really go into depth in their questions. You're like, okay, so how
Yeah.
many times do you do that? Oh man, come on, man.
Yeah. But I mean, they need to know though. I mean, that they
Yeah.
can't treat you if they don't know what's causing it, you know? I
Yeah,
guess that's will
agreed.
be something to look into though. Like here we have HIPAA laws. Which are basically that any of my medical records are my private records, not be shared with other people without me consenting to it. So like if I don't know, the cops wanted to know if I was
Your blood type, for
blood
example.
types, whatever, they can't get that from the hospital
They have to go
without
through the
my
courts
consent.
and get a warrant.
Oh yeah, that's the same here. Yeah,
Oh, well then I'm
everything's
good.
confidential.
I'm good.
Everything's confidential. Yeah. In my younger years, I had to sign a
Waiver.
a waiver. That's it. With the police because they wanted my blood. They wanted my blood. Yeah, so I
Oh,
remember signing that thing. Yeah, take it. You got nothing on me.
got nothing on me.
I've been trying to see
That
how much margarita was in the blood.
margarita. That's the other thing. Like that, there's one more thing that they do here that I don't like. Is so like your children, if they're under the age of 18 or whatever, you know, you think that you be able to make the medical choices or decisions or whatever. But if you are, say, like your 14-year-old wanted to get on birth control, they could just go into a clinic here and get birth control without parents' consent.
Nah, I don't think they can do that here. I think there's a law with the parents and the minors that the parents have to make that decision. Like
Good.
with my kids, they can't just go. Uh, they will be told if they ever like try to sneak around and do that, they'll have to have a parent there or guardian. Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. And another thing, like, like the schools require vaccines there? Like before
Require
they can, yeah, like before they can go to school, like the chickenpox vaccine
the
and,
schools, they provide it. They provide it.
but they don't, you know, they're not required to take the vaccines though, if they don't want to.
Um, they are required. I
Okay,
don't. I
well, it's
don't
the same
like
here.
that.
I was just curious. I don't either. I think I think it should be a choice, the parent's choice, and because my thought process is not all like they make one vaccine. Not all vaccines are like everyone's bodies aren't the same. You know, like the basic is, but if you're wanting to treat, you know, you could be giving someone a vaccine, and yet the side effects are more worse than what they would have gotten just from the vaccine in
Man,
the
I'm
first
I'm
place. You know,
totally in
so
agreement with you right there. You know, you're preaching to the choir. I've had so many debates with other people about vaccines. The vaccine, the way the vaccines work, is that they're poisoning our kids
yeah.
with whatever disease, so their immune system can recognize it when they get it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man,
I know. I
that's a
wish we could just
really
not have vaccines. They I mean, some of them I can understand. Ones that have been, I would be okay or more okay to that have been um, years and years tested. But like some of them, like the chicken pox, like that's they could get chicken pox from a friend. It's not. It's inconvenient to get chicken pox, but it's not as deadly as they
It's
make
not
it seem.
life-threatening.
But yet, exactly. But if you get the chickenpox vaccine, you can get shingles when you're older, which is life-threatening, can be life-threatening.
You can get it with chickenpox too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the other way around. You can get shingles with getting the chickenpox, but I don't think you can with the vaccine.
Yes, you can.
I don't.
100%, I know that
I don't
much.
want to sound like I'm asking a stupid question, but what's shingles?
No, you're good.
What's shingles?
It's a
Okay, so
viral
like
skin
a,
rash.
it's like an adult version of chickenpox,
Oh, okay.
like a really bad
And
adult
that's
version of
life-threatening?
chickenpox. It can be.
I don't know. I hadn't heard of it one way or the other. I know it's
But
supposed to be real painful, but that's all I know.
I don't know. I think the problem with America is that we're not try and get people healthy, and they're just drugging them up on all these drugs and vaccines and all these hormones and stuff like that, and that they put in these animals and all this junk. You know, that's just that's one of the things I'll be glad to get away from. More natural
fresh
way
start.
of doing things.
A nice fresh start.
Yeah. And everyone we've told has been very supportive, actually.
Yeah.
And in
All of our
some
parents
cases,
were
really
more supportive
excited.
than we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a lot more okay with it than we thought they would be, you know. But
Yeah.
Did they do any research on New Zealand after they found out the news?
I don't know.
If my parents have, they haven't told me. I don't know about your
My
parents.
mom and dad have. They've looked into it a lot. I don't know if your sister or brothers. My brother doesn't know, but I don't talk to him on a regular basis. And we haven't like posted it Facebook public yet, but that's just because I wanted to wait until we got visas in line and a for sure go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
set in stone.
immediate people know about it. They're all excited. They're like, we just get to visit New Zealand. I was like, yep.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say something about it at work, but I can't.
Yeah,
So,
no,
I
don't say
don't.
anything at work. Holy shit.
Why is
I didn't
that?
though. I told Molly. Because they won't.
Companies in the USA going back to hiring and firing people
Oh,
don't like the
right.
idea of keeping people on board that they know are going to leave soon. They'd rather fire you and hire someone else that they think they can keep long term.
Oh, yeah, no loyalty
And so,
there,
if
eh?
you're planning on relocating, you don't
No.
tell anybody until you're ready to relocate. Whether that's buy a job, buy a house, whatever.
There's definitely no loyalty from a business. Like we were just talking about that today.
Yep.
He went and had a conversation with someone that was having just life events and stuff, and they were like, I can't take time off because there's, 2 or 3 people out and they really need me right now and stuff, and we're like, they don't care about you. The job doesn't care about you. They already have probably someone already that's knows how to do your job that will take your place. Like there's no loyalty in companies here.
Yeah,
It's all about the bottom dollar and
there's policies here that protect staff members from not feeling wanted here. So
That's
I think
cool.
it's every 3 months. Every 3 months you go in and you talk with your boss or your manager.
upper management or whatever.
Yeah, and they ask you questions of how you're feeling. And when I was the 2IC, we used to do sit downs with the staff members and how they're progressing in the job and what can we do to make things better. And They haven't done that for a while, but I think that's because of the changeover. We're getting a new owner operator very soon.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they do
What
that
about
every
like
month, every 3 months.
Cool.
promotions? What about people that want to get promoted to other positions in the company? Is
Yeah,
that common or?
that's very common. Like they'll come up
Oh, okay.
in your staff review, like your if you got any like issues with anyone, they'll put it down, and or they'll get back to it, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, say
Yeah.
if you want a bit more responsibility, comes more pay, and then that will all be added to the review.
Yeah.
I like it. That sounds roughly what we're used to. So.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to play some games?
Let's go.
We've just been bullshitting here for 45 minutes.
Let's go. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Not at all. I'm just glad tomorrow and then 2 days off. I'm ready for the week.